Today what I got going on is I'm going to be unboxing and giving my first review of this portable heater, this Mr.Heater Portable Buddy 4,000 to 9,000 BTU. It's pretty much just a heater that runs off of camping gas, or those small little green propane tanks that you use on like camping stoves and grills and things like that. I just thought it'd be really cool to have this. I'm actually going to be using it for an upcoming video, and I thought I might as well do a little unboxing and review of it in case you were interested about this as well. These are about like $70 or $80. I actually got this at Home Depot. They're not super expensive, but honestly I think it'd be a really nice thing to keep you warm in the cold winter. Some of the features that it says it has, low and high settings, so I think there's only two settings, either 4,000 or 9,000 BTU. Heats up to 225 square feet. I guess that's, they tested in different rooms and they say that it can go up to 225 square feet. I've looked online and some people say that the small tanks, the little small green tanks, this is pretty accurate, around 5 hours on low and like maybe 2.5 hours on high. So just keep that in mind if you're using these small little tanks. You can't really have it running all night, otherwise you're going to have to swap them out, which is something I'm going to have to probably look into and probably do actually. Life-saving systems, this is one thing that I got this for. It's supposed to be safe for indoor use, so it's not going to really give off carbon monoxide or anything like that. I've seen videos of people running these for like 17 hours, or I've seen a video of someone running it for 17 hours in this closed space with a carbon monoxide detector, and it didn't pick up anything. So supposedly this is like 100% combustion or something, and it burns all of the propane, so there's actually no harmful gases coming from it, so you can actually use it inside. So that's another reason when I got this, because I'm going to be using it inside. So it's supposed to be safe for that. Obviously test it as well and make sure, but from what I've read everywhere, this is supposed to be really safe for indoor use. Low oxygen safety system, not really sure. Tip over shutdown, which is something you definitely want. So that pretty much it means if it tips over, there's a sensor on the bottom that's going to turn off the system, so it's not going to be blowing heat into the ground and like melting or burning your ground if it falls over. And it's designed with flame retardant materials, which is something else you want. You don't want them to make a heater that is going to just let it catch itself on fire. This is Mr.Heater, I believe the brand. These are made for like outdoors or indoors, or really just camping and outside activities. You got a fisherman here, hunting guy, I don't know, he's smashing rocks there, construction or something, a garage. So it's really made for any situation. They even show a tent there, so if you want you can use it inside of a tent, which is really cool. What else do we got here? We gotta stand up for this. Indoor safe, again it says it's indoor safe because that's really why I got it, because I'm using it in a closed space. Features, we kind of went over the features right there. It's pretty much, you got two settings. It's got the emergency tip over, and you can use it inside. And they show them using it outside in like the snow, so it's nice to see that. Life safety systems, cross-thread protection system, so that means you're not going to be cross-threading it to have like a leak when you screw in the tanks. Emergency low oxygen safety systems, tip over and designed with flame retardant materials. It's got the handle on it. It's got the low and high heat settings. Heavy duty wire guard right there, which is nice. Hopefully it doesn't get too hot. I assume you can probably burn yourself on it. It can run off those 1 pound propane cylinders, or I believe you can get a hose and attach it to like a big barbecue propane thing. It's got a piezo igniter, which means you don't have to carry matches or a lighter to actually start it. You got like a button you push and it's going to create a little spark and it'll light itself, which is nice, so you don't have to carry any other flame source. And it lets you know how much it heats up to, and it's got a year warranty, which is nice. And it looks like you got where you screw it in. Shows a little bit of the construction right there. It looks like the sparker and starter, stuff like that. Actually right here they show it with a giant propane tank right there, so you can get a hose and hook it to that and have it run for a lot longer. Again, the indoor safe. Next thing is we're gonna open it up. Alright. Just like that. And I just want to grab one of these real quick. These are the propane tanks that they run off of. Usually they just say like camping gas. Pretty much if you see these little small green propane tanks, they're most likely going to be the ones that work for it. I've never seen any other gas tank that looks like this that isn't going to work on this, if that makes sense. You just screw it on and you make sure that it's screwed on tightly, and it should run it off of it. You can always tell if there's stuff in it. You shake it, if you can hear stuff moving, you know that it's got some stuff in it. And it's just propane. Let's see what we got here. It's improved performance of a safety switch. You can now hear. Okay, so it means if you hear something moving around, it's just the safety switch moving around. Got a whole bunch of information right here. And then you got the whole unit itself. Let's see if we can pop this out. It is pretty big. I mean, it did come in a pretty big box. I mean, it's not huge, but it is a decent size. Comes in a little baggie. That's that. And let's check it out. So overall, the construction of it seems pretty solid. It's mostly made out of metal and then also some plastic. All this red is metal. All this black inside of here is metal, and then this grill itself is metal. It's not like rubberized, it's just like some sort of powder coat on it. I'm not really sure what this is made out of, but I assume that it's gonna be heating up and somehow catching the flame in there. Maybe it's some sort of ceramic, not 100% sure. I can hear something in there, and I believe that noise I'm hearing is the tip over thing. I don't think it's broken. That's kind of what this was telling us about. If you hear something moving around in there, it's just a tip over switch. So that's what it is. The back of it, some nice metal, again that plastic, some little screws there where you can either hang it or possibly run it. I think that the tip over switch works even if it's lifted. It doesn't look like there's a button on the bottom. I think there's just a sensor that senses if it's staying upright, even if that means you hang it on the wall. So you could probably run it on the wall. You got a whole bunch of information right here on the back. If you want to go ahead and read that, feel free. It says don't tamper with it obviously, and there's a huge warning about carbon monoxide on it. But this is rated for indoor use, and I have seen videos of people using and testing it, and it doesn't seem dangerous at all. Obviously, if it's not working properly, it can be dangerous, so always weigh your risk if you're going to use it inside and do your own testing. Really, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to plug in a tank and turn it on and just see how it works, and I'll give it some heat and see how it feels. And I do assume that pretty much when this thing is running, anything that's metal is going to be hot. So you could probably burn yourself on this. You could probably burn yourself on the little red parts here. Pretty much if you want to move it, just pick it up by the handle. That's probably about it. So anyways, I'm just going to take it on its side right here. Got my little propane tank, some camping gas, some little Coleman thing. This has a swivel right here just so it's a little easier to screw in at this angle. So I'm just going to screw it in. Just like that. Obviously, make sure that there's no leaks or anything. This is pretty much the controls right here. This is the red knob that's going to do all the work. It's pretty much got this little point on it, a little point right here that's going to be facing whatever it is. You got off, you got pilot, you got low and high. So there's only a low and a high setting. Pilot's what you're going to use, that's going to ignite the little spark, which is going to light the flame down here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and light it from this angle. It's on the off switch right here. I'm going to go over to pilot. Once it's on the pilot, it kind of locks into place. You can feel it. Push down on it. You can see the flame was trying to light and now it's lit. It's sustained right there. You definitely don't want to turn it on to low or the high until the flame is a constant flame. It's like a little blue lighter flame. And then I'm just going to go over and set it to low, and it kind of locks into place. You can see the flame sputter a little bit and you can just feel the heat off of there. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on to high. So I turn it into high. It's a little bit more gas pumping in there. So you can see it's on the high mode. You can actually see the light. It's pretty light right now. It's glowing pretty well. I'm going to go and see if I turn it on to the low mode. You can see it actually really reduces the color or the brightness of it, but you can actually still see it. I'm going to go back in the high mode. And it does give out quite a bit of heat, so heat rises. So obviously watch out where you're putting your hand when you're messing with it. You could probably set like a piece of food here or something and actually cook it. It gets pretty hot. Next thing I want to do is, it's the lights on. I just want to tip it over and see the flame go off again. So it's got the flame shut off, and obviously this is a controlled situation. I know what I'm doing. And you can see I tipped it over. It just immediately went off. So really cool. You know that works. I don't really smell gas, so I don't think that it constantly sprays out gas after that. I think once it's tipped over, you probably have to reset it. So I'm going to turn it off, go to pilot, I lit the pilot. I'm gonna go over to light, and it's gonna light itself up again. Super easy to use. You can see a little bit of the glow right there. I can definitely see a red glow going on. It's pretty cool actually. Almost looks like a screen or something. So while it's like this, I'm gonna go and turn into the high mode. Oh, and yeah, you can see that get quite a bit brighter. And this thing's actually really quiet. I really don't hear much, and it's actually putting off a really nice amount of heat right here. It feels like a radiator or something. You could actually probably cook something, like a marshmallow or something right here, if you need to or something like that. I really like it. It's got a nice color to it. The sides of it don't feel hot or anything. What happens if I tip it? I tipped it and it just went off. Something else I noticed about this is where the propane tank is, there's actually a little magnet. That's what this was. I thought it was a sensor, but it's actually just a small little magnet that the tank kind of sticks to. So that's kind of cool. So when you pick it up, it's not going to just kind of free fall and kind of bend like that, even though it's probably not that big a deal. But yeah, I'm just going to take off the tank right now. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. You'll probably hear a little gas come out, but that's kind of just normal. Probably be a little noise. No, barely anything. You might smell a little gas when you're putting it on and off, but that is normal. But yeah, always check your connection and everything. If you're ever in a pinch, or you're ice fishing, or you're camping, or doing something outside and you need a way to bring heat, this is honestly a great way to do it. So anyways, I just wanted to give a quick little review of this portable heater. My buddy heater. It's definitely be my buddy. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it helped you. Hopefully it gave you some information if you want to get this yourself. And I want to say thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing wonderful, and I'll catch you all in the next one.